tank mines that are out here? Can I just
I will probably find them.
There are two general ways to hold a capture point in a base: point holds and lane holds. I've already talked about point holds, so yeah, this one's about lane holds.
EMP down on door one.
Galaxies coming northeast.
Right, get yourself on point.
Way back, and I mean way back, in a video about attack and defense lanes, I talked about what they are and the advantage of knowing how to identify them, and this ties very closely with lane holds. You see it all the time in the game. How many times have you seen friendly forces push an enemy spawn? The route they take between the point and the spawn is a lane. It's the same idea as this, pushing the spawn, but it's more structured. Due to the relatively recent addition of tactical overlays to the game, lanes can be plotted on a map by a squad or platoon lead to more easily gauge where you need to go. However, this would be more useful if it could be shown on the minimap, so just use it when you're planning before you get to a fight.
They're coming from.
Basically what a lane hold is multiple point holds in stages up an enemy attack lane. Say you got the spawn, a couple of nice bits of cover or choke points in the middle, and you got your point. You want to hold at the choke points as much as you can, and if you get pushed hard, just pull back gradually if you need to. Lane holds have a few advantages and disadvantages. The advantages allow an effective hold against larger numbers. They can slow down or even stop a max crash if you're using tank mines and archers well, or have your own maxes. And they're usually pretty difficult to counter, unlike point holds, which all you need is grenade spam, maybe a couple of explosives, and a couple of maxes at a push. That's it. So the disadvantages of a lane hold are they can't always be done due to circumstances such as enemy air to ground, general air presence, terrain allowing HE lightnings or something, to overlook the base, stuff like that. So it varies from base to base. Other bases may include a point building right next to the spawn, so there's not much room, so you kind of have to do it from the point building.
Looks sick.
So when setting up a lane hold, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to talk for it anyway. So you capture the point, obviously. You push out of the point building up the enemy attack lane, so where the enemy's going to most likely come from. And if you got two squads, divide them over the primary and secondary lanes accordingly. You can learn more about that stuff in this video I've linked here. And then you just set up various holds at the forward positions. So you just say Alpha hold at this point, mark it with a waypoint, Bravo hold at this point, mark it with a waypoint. And if you've got a bit of time and it's a big base, just take a look at where you can fall back to. An example would be in a biolab is you're in the gen building and you push out to C point or whatever points in that little square building, and you got the jungle and you got the spawn. So forward point is jungle, then fallback point is C, and then absolute wiping point, the bit where you want to be if you get wiped, is the generator. So you got various different stages.
For me, it was quite literally.
What you can do as a squad lead is set a waypoint on where the fallback point is if you're already at where you need to be. So that way, if you start to get wiped, you can just say, medics throw resonades, everyone else fall back to the squad waypoint. Or, if it's a cap point, just say fall back to C, or whatever. So if the squad begins to get hit hard, just fall back to the first waypoint, and then set a new one for the next one, if you have time. Otherwise, just use landmarks. And there you go, just repeat until you're on the point or the objective you're defending.
And
Drop the bait.
Lane holds are best used when the point building is hard to defend. Good examples of this would be Chimney Rock, and like I just mentioned, Biolab Generator as well. Going back to Chimney Rock, it has two primary routes to the point building, and the building itself is very flat with many openings for easy grenade kills. So therefore, the best option here is to push towards the spawn room, and maybe even use some Fury Sundays to support the forward position, and give a decent fallback for infantry. You can also use some kind of ground to air to help clear out the enemy air to ground problem. Like I said already, you don't really have to use waypoints for falling back, as you can just use landmarks in a base such as capture points, common areas such as the jungle in a biolab, or buildings, or even compass bearings. Guys, fall back west, something like that.
God damn it, Alex.
Waypoints are easier for someone newer to the game, as they're kind of more universal for setting locations, because you can obviously you can put them down anywhere. This also negates any problem you might have. For example, in cons we have what's called the cons dictionary, which is just basically the terminology we use for various buildings. So a waypoint can, for anything, can just be waypoint building. So that's basically the gist of a lane hold then. Instead of a point hold where you're defending a fixed position, you're defending several fixed positions along a lane. So you start at one fixed position, then fall back again, then fall back. If you're getting hit very hard, then all you need to do is just fall right back to the point after you got a couple of kills. Put some mines down if you can to clear off some maxes, and then regroup with another squad if you need to, then push back out. It's very, very good to have, especially in 2-squad platoons. And I always try and do this in platoons and squads I run. Alright, that's it for this week, guys, so thanks a lot for watching. Catch you later for another video, and feel free to like, share, subscribe and all that stuff if you are interested in seeing a bit more, and I'll catch you later.